Okay. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing great. Let me know in the chat if you guys can see me and hear me. Just for confirmation. Excellent. Thank you, sir. It did last week. Not sure what you meant by it did last week, but cool. Thanks. Cool. Sound is good, Mr. Cole, Mr. Shea, Dr. Bob, Mr. Powers in the house. I like it. Okay. Let me shrink this chat window down. It's ginormous. Okay. So today, I was hoping to show off, I don't know, I was going to do some other Total CMS stuff today, show off some cool stuff that I've been working on recently. Maybe I can give you a sneak peek. It's not quite there. I need another day or two. But yeah, I've been working on something called the deck. It's pretty cool. But there's other things I have to work on. And so as you probably remember, you've probably seen and heard that I've been working on this, a camping website for Total CMS that's built with Total CMS 3. And, yeah, I need to work on the search and filtering form. And yeah, I figured, you know what? I have to do it. Might as well try to build it live. So I'm going to go as long as I need. I have not done any prep. I've opened the project file. That is the limit because I was working on the deck until literally 6 minutes ago. So, just from onto one thing and from one thing onto another. So, let me go ahead and turn on my favorite mouse, you guys' favorite mouse thing. Where is it? There it is. Okay. And, let's get cooking. Please feel free. I will try to look at the chat. Let me know if you have any questions, and I can slow down and whatnot. Now, I do have to say, while this is going to be a search form for a Total CMS 3 site, this is just a Foundation 6 form, and yeah, you could use it for the what we're teaching today for whatever, right? But it will be a pretty cool sort of advanced, we'll call it advanced form for a Total CMS search filter. Okay. But before we do that, why don't we give you a sneak peek of the deck? Okay. It's not ready, for prime time yet, but you can get an idea of what it is. Okay. Since I've seen 2 requests now to see the deck. Okay. What is the deck? The deck is a new field. And actually here it is down here. Okay. And what are let me show you a functional. I'm gonna dip back into Total CMS 2 to show you what the deck was in Total CMS 2. Okay, just so you can see an actual working implementation, a real life implementation of what deck is, and then I'll show you how I've improved it and made it actually usable and better in Total CMS 3. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead. You've probably seen this before. Weaver Space runs on Total CMS 2. Okay. So we're going to go to my products. We're going to go to agent. All right. So here is my backend for Weaver Space. And if we go to features, if you notice, well, first off, when I go to a product page, right, let's bring up agent. Okay. And why it's so slow today? What's going on? Okay, there we go. This little thing right here, right? Like all my products have a set of features. And I wanted to make sure that every product had its own set of features. And so what is a feature? It is an icon, a title, and a sentence. Okay. So that is what a feature is. Every product will have a different set of features. Okay. So this is the implementation of that, right? Again, this is Total CMS 2, looks completely different in Total CMS 3, but the concepts are the same. So I wanted to show you an actual working example of what it is. So here I have, a deck. That is one reason I dislike deck. The horizontal scrolling of it can trigger back and forward in a browser, which drives me bonkers. Okay. Each one can have an SVG, a title, and a summary, like I said. Okay. And you can go ahead and drag and drop these and whatnot. While this looks really cool, I've been using this UI for a few years now, and it can be very annoying trying to, because let's say you have a lot of cards and you want to get this all the way at the other end, right? It's annoying. Trust me. Okay. Reordering these can be a pain. Adding a new one, you click on the plus button and you get a new one. Okay. So, it's interesting. Okay. Interesting UI. And while it looks nice, it fails. Okay. Another interesting use case for the deck. Okay. For here, I track all my version. So on my product page, I list out all the versions, or I think I list out the latest 3 or 4 or something like that. And it has the date it was released, the version, and then the release notes. Okay. For every single update ever shipped for a product. Okay. Pretty cool. Okay. So 2 use cases right here on Weaver Space. And there we go. Okay. So let's see what we can do and how this works now in Total CMS 3. Oops, I think I closed my window. So let's look at the almost implementation. Okay. So we're going to go into this products, and I have one product with a deck right now. Okay. And so here I have my features. Okay. Down here, I can add a new one. Okay. And then if I click on these, I can then get the fields for my feature, right? So if we look at the existing ones here, I have a title and an icon and a description. Okay. This actually should probably be a text area. Why do I keep doing that? Is that it's because I'm letting go. Oh, interesting. I'm going to consider that a bug. If I go like this and then let go of my mouse over here, it closes the lightbox. That's annoying. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, here is the simple UI for a deck. Now you can configure whatever is in this to be whatever you want. Okay. Oh, well, not whatever you want. Let me rephrase that. It could be any existing Total CMS field that is not an image or a file based. So you cannot have image, you cannot have a gallery, you cannot have a depot, you cannot have a file. Anything that has files attached to it, you cannot do in a deck. Okay. But you can do SVGs, they're just text. Okay. You can do tags, you can do style text, you can do all that stuff. Okay. But you cannot do anything with a file. Okay. I don't know. Maybe if we really need something like that in the future, maybe. But right now, I think this is really cool, even without files. Okay. So, and I'll show you how you can define these. Okay. How you build that. But if you notice, this is a very probably similar UI. It's because I borrowed it from the schema. Okay. So you can also drag and drop all of these just like you can in a schema. Okay. You can duplicate them. You can delete them just like a schema. Well, it will. All that doesn't necessarily work right now, but it will. Okay. So you can kind of see the UI here. It's really nice. You can add as many as you want. And again, just kind of drag and drop them and change the order of the deck. And again, if you want to edit it, just click it just like you do schemas. Okay. So that's the UI for a deck in an object. Let's go look at how we build it. So it's all done with schemas. Okay. So if we remember, that was my products collection. So that adheres to a product schema. And down in here, you'll notice that I have a features deck. Okay. So if I have a features property, if I click on that, obviously we have the type of data is a deck and the type of form field is a deck. Okay. But there's one important feature for a deck that you have to set, and that is the deck schema reference. So on here, if you click on this, it'll be a drop down of all of the schemas that will support a deck. Okay. If you notice image and gallery, those are valid schemas, but they're not valid for a deck, so they don't show up in here. Only the schemas that are going to be valid for a deck will show up in here, and then you can go ahead and select that schema. Here, I've selected the features schema. Okay. So what that means is every item that's added to my features deck needs to adhere to the features schema. Okay. Also, pretty cool little icon over here, right? I like the little deck icon. Thought that was nice. Okay. Another thing you'll notice is down here at the bottom, and this is true for every schema you visit, there'll just be a little message down here whether or not that particular schema is compatible with a deck. This one here is not compatible with the deck because it has an image inside the schema. So it says, hey, this property is incompatible with the deck. But if we go to features, we'll see inside features, I have an ID, title, icon, and description. And this is compatible with the deck. Okay. So yeah, this is compatible. This is then built. And if I were to go ahead and add in a new property to this, so if I were to go ahead and now I haven't tested this. This is me going completely off the cuff here. Should work though. Let's just call this a I don't know, new field. Okay. Okay, we'll just call it a new field. I'm boring. I'm feeling boring today. And actually, this description, we need to change that to be a text area, right? Remember, because it was a text box. So change that. We have a new field. New one for the live. Okay, let's just call that. We're gonna save that. Sweet. And then we're gonna go into products, and we're gonna go back into my collection. Let's go into products. And if I click on this, now if I go ahead and look at these, look at that. I have my description is now a text area, and I have my new field here. Right? So these fields, or this little form for each individual deck item, is dynamically built from the features schema. And Matthias, yes, Josh is correct. The deck will only be supported in a custom collection. Okay. So yeah, pretty cool. I think it's going to be a super useful feature. I think the implementation of it is pretty elegant as well, right? Because it uses features that we already understand, which is schemas, right? So again, products has a features deck. The features deck references this schema, and then that is automatically built into the form for us, all automatically. Really, really cool. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about deck. I think it'll be super interesting to see all the use cases that people come up with. I was talking with Chris Powers yesterday, and yeah, I think he has some pretty interesting ideas I never thought about, right? I guess one question, is when do you use a deck and when do you use a collection, right? Because we can reference things between collections. So how do we do that, right? Why would we pick a deck versus a collection and then relating IDs or objects in a collection? The way I would think of it is, we'll just take my, let's just take the Weaver Space, what you saw my live, what happens on Weaver Space. I have versions and features, okay? Both of those are only ever tied to one product. I never really care to display the features of agent anywhere else but on the agent page. That's the only place they're ever going to show up. Okay. Now there could be an argument where I could have like a collection for all my releases. And then I could tie those to an object, because then I can then maybe have some sort of feed that shows you all releases for every product. That's actually something that would be kind of cool. And maybe my Total CMS 3 version of Weaver Space, I actually might do that. Okay. So features would be a deck, and then I probably have a collection of releases that then each release is tied back to a single product. But then I can then nicely have like a page that shows all recent updates, and, you know, maybe even an RSS feed of it or whatever I want. Right. So yeah, I mean, just kind of thinking of how you would use a deck versus a collection. It just kind of think of it as, your use case for it and where it makes sense. Could you accomplish everything that deck does with two collections? Yes, you could. Deck just makes some things just a little bit simpler. Okay. It just simplifies the complexities because it's all managed inside that one object. So there we go. Okay. That's it with the deck. Hope you guys like that. Let me see if there are any much easier than related fields, but if you need an image, you can use related collections. Correct. Deck is a game changer. Yes, it is. Sorry, I just got here. Was wondering if it would be possible to select within, for example, select campsites in Arizona and then select RV hookup within that, or some other attribute. I think you're talking about the search and filter stuff. We'll get there. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and start playing. Let me show you what we're going to be doing today. Okay. Or what I'm going to be building today. Let's go ahead and go to. Okay. So, this is a campsite directory that is, searches and filters for campsites throughout various regions of Wales and England. Okay. And you notice that I have a nice little filter search form over here. But if you click on it, it does nothing. Okay. So it does nothing. It would be nice if I were to click on this, it would automatically filter this list out. Okay. Well, 2 stages. Okay. For right now, actually what I'm going to do is, we're going to make this form. So I fill out the form however I want, and then we hit the search button. Okay. That will be version 1.0 of this form. Okay. Potentially in the future, we'll make it so it's all dynamic. So if I click on something, it'll maybe dynamically filter this form out. Okay. That's not what I'm going to be working on today. Today we're going to be working on, if you select various parts of the form and filters, you can even have search keywords. You then click on the search button, and it will filter out, the campsites over here. One thing I will do, to kind of allow people to visually see that they've changed the search, is that if you notice this search button is currently like disabled. Okay. And if you ever, my plan is if you ever change any of these filters, this search button will then become a color, either some sort of color, probably a shade of green, so that it visually sees that, hey, resubmit your search. Okay. And then we'll click on that, and then, it'll resubmit my search on the page. Okay. So that's what we are going to be working on today. And to start with, okay. So here's the project, but before we even get into the project, let's go ahead and look at, let me open up just a sample project here. All right, let's just go here. It's fine. All right, let's see here. Let's remove that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. The general concept for how this works, okay, is that these are going to be radio and or checkboxes. Okay. Actually, I think all of them are going to be checkboxes because we want to potentially be able to select multiple of them. Okay. So, yeah, we want to be able to select multiple regions, multiple camp sites. Okay. And yeah, then we click search. And the interface to do that is a checkbox. So, to start off, a long time ago, there was a template that I made based on some cool stuff we did in a Hangout. Okay, and it is in the free template pack that is available to download on the Foundation product page, okay, on Weaverspace. And let's have a look at this. Let's see what it is. Okay. So you'll notice that I have this is a radio button because radios only allow you to select a value. Okay, so it's somewhat what we want, but what we'll notice here is that the radio, okay, is hidden. I don't see the radio field itself. Okay, but what I do see are these SVGs, and so my goal is to leverage this style of interface to accomplish this form here, so that when I click on this, it styles this a particular way. When I click on these, it styles those a particular way, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's analyze how this is done. It's actually not too complicated. Okay, actually, I think we can update this because this is a here. I think we now have more swatches available to us. So we now have an SVG swatch that we can use to do this bad boy here. Here, just so we're all swatched up. And then we're going to do fill as, let's just do web safe. Oh, let's just do crayons. Why not? Oh, that didn't. All right, let's do. We'll do strawberry. Oh boy, look at strawberry. All right, there we go. We're going to get rid of that. Let's preview that now. So now when ooh, that didn't work. Fill checked. Oh, SVG was in there twice. Element SVG. All right. Boom. There we go. Boom. All right. So now we're all SVG'd up or swatched up. All right. Let's discuss what's going on here. So here I have a radio. And actually, for fun, let's go ahead and just chuck this new pen on the page just so we can kind of see this. If I do not publish, okay? Let's look at that. Okay, what we notice is, so this is what it looks like without any swatches. Okay, I have my radio buttons. Okay, and the label for the radio button is an SVG image with an actual bit of text, right? Okay. This is what it looks like without any styles applied. Let's gander at what these do. Okay. So in here, in the radio button, we see that I have a field name of home type. Okay. And you want to make sure that the field name for all of your radio buttons is the same. Okay. So the field name has to be the same. Normally I do all lowercase. Okay. Not sure why I did upper, snake case here, but then in the label, what you'll notice is I have a full SVG plus a BR tag and a bit of text. Okay. And you can kind of see that here. So again, in the actual label, I have the SVG with the text underneath. And then I have inline radio set for all of them so that they're not on top of each other when we preview. They're kind of all in a line. Okay. And yeah, that's it, right? just with that alone, we get this look and feel. Okay. To be honest, this isn't horrible, right? I mean, it's kind of nice. I can click bungalow and we get a little indicator that that's selected. Okay. But let's take things to the next level. Okay. So let's go ahead and put these swatches back on the page. And let's have a look at these swatches. Okay. So I do have on the radio button on each of them, I have a radio SVG class. And that gets added to the actual input. It's essentially like this, the little dot that we see here. It gets assigned to that. So in here, I just set the width of my radio SVG, okay, to 0. And I set the height to 0. And then just to make sure that we don't see it, in case something else is affecting it, I set the opacity to 0. Okay. So at that point, that radio button is invisible. Okay. Now you might be wondering, well, if it's invisible, how can I still click on things? Well, that's because here, let's preview this in the browser. The reason for that is, let's inspect these bad boys here. Okay. We'll see that. Let's make that a little bit bigger so we can see, you guys can see. Okay. Here is the actual, this input. That is the little round button, right? The radio button. And that input is what is, if you notice, that has the radio SVG class on it. And that is what is set to have here. Let's go ahead and undo those styles. Voila. Okay. As you see, all I really had to do was width 0. But you know what? I went extra and just did the height and opacity on it. Okay. So yeah. I guess you need to, opacity 0. And there we go. Okay. So yeah, I just did all 3 of those just to make sure that this input was completely hidden. Okay. Now what's cool with radios and check boxes is that the label, if you click on the label, it also is the same as clicking on the little button. So if I hide the input, the label is taking over the click action for us 100% out of the box, right? It's just how that works in the browser. Pretty cool. So as I'm clicking on these, it's setting the value. If we look at this particular one, we'll see that it's set to be checked. Okay. And if I go ahead and click on it, you'll notice that, sometimes this doesn't always live update. Okay. The dev inspector sometimes is. Yeah, it doesn't update attributes. It's kind of a snapshot in time, but it does change that radio button, okay, just by clicking on the label. Really cool. So how are we doing the little changes? Okay. And that's definitely advanced, right? It does require this pretty advanced little swatch selector here. Okay. And again, this is automatically, it's inside the template, the free downloads on the Foundation product page. So you have access to this. Okay. And it's just radio SVG checked and then the label. Okay. And then because we're using the SVG swatch, I'm targeting the SVG inside of the label. Okay. So basically what this selector is saying, okay, is when a radio SVG is checked, get the label for it, then look at the SVG, then make the fill color strawberry. Pretty cool, right? Right? So yeah, that is essentially what I'm going to be doing today. Just maybe a little bit more to the next level. We'll see what that entails. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. But yeah, I need to go ahead and let's play around with this project file. we'll leave this one open just so I have stuff to copy and paste from. So what I think I'm gonna tackle first is I'm actually thinking I'm gonna tackle these little badges down here first, and then tackle these. I think these ones up here are gonna be slightly more challenging. I think these ones will be simpler. So let's start with simple, and let's do this bad boy right here. Okay. So let's find these guys. They are, where are they? It's right here, I think. All right, here they are. Those are all the maps. Okay, so let's do this. Where to? Let's put in a little title. Let's do region filters. Okay, so I know that that's region filters. And then this one is camping filters, right? Or what do I call it? Yeah, camping filters. Camping in filters. And let's just do that. And then here we're going to have extra features filters. Extra features filters. All right. So there we go. And then here we have our search input. Custom search. Okay. Let's do that. All right. So we're going to look at the camping filters first. Okay. And all of these are, it's actually done. These are all built with Total CMS 3. Okay. If you're curious, let's go ahead and just so you can guys kind of get an idea. Oops, wrong URL. Boom. All right. If we go into the collections, we will go into the tag. Oh, wait, oh, this is running an old version. Interesting. All right. Man, that's going to throw me off here. Let's see. You know, for fun, I'm going to go ahead and should I republish all? I'm not sure what version I have installed, but I should. Let's just save that. And let's just do a file. I'm going to do a republish all just so we have the latest version of Total CMS. So it doesn't break my brain when all these menus have changed locations on me. All right, hopefully this is going to work. Don't have any bugs in my current development version. Boom. All right, just for fun, I'm going to clear all the cache so that we're good. Boom. Okay. So inside here, we're going to go to types. Okay. And here we go. These are all the types. It's a collection, just has, as you see, it has an icon and a label and an ID. Okay. And whether or not to hide it. Okay. And so, yeah, this collection, I'm just looping through this and building out all those buttons. Okay. So let's go ahead and change how this is. Okay. And all of that, they are just buttons. Okay. And the button, the label on the button, luckily enough, it's already just an SVG. Okay. With the label. So I think this should be pretty simple. Actually, now that I see how I'm implemented this, we're going to go ahead and first off, is this whole thing in a form? It already is in a form. Cool. Okay. We're going to go ahead and now I might have to do some styling because here I have, this is a button and buttons kind of inherit some styles and I might need to, put those styles on the label a little bit. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, let's go ahead and find the form fields. Foundation 6 form fields. We're going to get a checkbox. Okay. So I'm going to add checkbox down here and, I'm just going to go ahead and take this label and I'm going to paste that in the label of my checkbox. Okay. And that label, all it does is, I'm not gonna explain this whole SVG thing. It takes the SVG from inside that collection, and then it puts in the label. That's all it does. Okay. So we want inline checkboxes. Yes. We need a custom class of filter item. Okay. I might need to change that though, because if I put the checkbox there, yeah. Okay. Let's just see what this is going to do. I'm just gonna add a hide class to this button for now. I don't want to delete it. You know what? I'm just gonna publish this. I'm not sure what data I have stored in preview, so just to make life a little easier, we're just gonna preview it over here. Okay. Wow. Look at that. Okay. So, interesting. So, okay, we're there. We see that I have a checkbox. Okay. And obviously they don't look super nice like we did down here. Okay. But I have a checkbox, and next to the checkbox, I have an SVG. And then below that, we have our labels. Okay. So yeah, and they go big, but we'll fix that. Okay. So, okay. So essentially what we need to do is I'm going to look at the styles that I had set up for filter item. Okay. Let's go ahead and find those. And oh, those are just loading. Okay. I need to find my oh, here, look, filter item. Okay. So here we have filter item. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do, okay, so we have campsite badge, SVG. Hold on, let's see. This is just a filter item. That's it. Secondary color has a border radius. Okay. So essentially what I'm going to do is, if you remember, these SVG and this are inside of a label. Okay. So, and what, sorry, I'm thinking. The checkbox has a label built into it, but, oh, does the checkbox not have that? Oh man. Foundation has the ability to have a custom label, and then you can have a class on that. Oh well. All right, we're gonna have to, we'll make it work. All right, so here we have, let's see, I don't need, curious down here, where am I getting those hover styles? Was that only, that's probably on a button. I'm just gonna inspect this bad boy right here. Oh, interesting. Doesn't, it's too big. Let's go ahead and just inspect that bad boy. It's a button, medium radius. And we're gonna go ahead and do that so I can see it all up here. Hover. All right, so if we look at the hover styles, it is, where's it getting the background color? Oh, filter item hover. Oh, I do have a hover. Filter item hover. All right, gonna have to find that. Man. Oh, here they are. I had my swatches in two places. All right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna copy these and put them down here with the rest of the filter item stuff. All right. And we're gonna make this one go full width. All right. Okay, this makes more sense now. Okay, so this should be in here. Boom. Okay. So I have a bunch of styles here for filter items that I'm going to have to replicate for the new filter item checkboxes. Okay, because what I want to do is I want to mimic this style, but these aren't buttons; those are labels. So yeah, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to replicate that style. So let's go ahead and start working on that. So first off, obviously, here, let's do some easy things. Let's go ahead and do like the SVG. Oh, here, height on the SVGs. The SVGs are what's making these things ginormous, right? So I have a swatch that limits the heights of those. Okay. And how are we going to target that label? That is a great question. Because the label itself doesn't have a class. Okay. But I can have a class on the checkbox, and we can easily target a label that's next to the class. All right, so we're going to do that. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to create. I'm going to do. We're going to add in, before I didn't have folder before, so we're going to go ahead and add in a folder down here. And then we're going to copy some stuff down into here. Okay. And let's give this a name of filter item styles. Okay. There we go. And we don't need page content. And I don't think I need notes. Okay, we're just going to do that. So in here, we're going to do, got to think of how I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this a certain way, and then we are going to see, I might have to change things up. Okay, so we're going to do filter item, and then we're going to do a little tilde. Okay. And then label. All right. And what that does is that says find a filter item and find something with a class of filter item and then get the label that's right next to it. That's what that means. This is definitely, I have to admit, I don't remember this tilde option very often. I almost never use it. Okay. But it's useful for today. Okay. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to add that filter item class here. Actually, I'm going to do a different class than filter item. That way, we don't have classes that are, let's do a filter checkbox. All right. New filter checkbox. And so yeah. Okay. So now we're going to add that class to my actual checkbox. All right. And now, I'm just going to go ahead and publish that. Look over here. Oh, wait. Filter checkbox. Oh, label. Sorry. Label. We wanted to target the SVGs inside of the label. Darn it. All right. There we are. Okay. So now things are starting to look a little bit better, at least, right? So, oops, let's make it smaller so that it doesn't bleed through. Okay. So now, at least these icons are smaller. Okay. But now we need to, restrict the width. So let's see what's going on here. I'm going to go ahead and that SVG is, do we need to also add a width? With, oh, not 0, auto. Interesting. I wonder if I did a display flex. Nope, that didn't work. Gotta figure out what is making this. This SVG is going 300 pixels wide. Why? What if I just did width 1.25 rem as well? Okay, boom. Okay. I mean, I know all of those icons are going to be, they're square anyway, right? They should be 1:1. You can also do aspect ratio 1, right? That works too. Okay. Okay, getting there. Okay, so let's add that swatch. So I'm going to add, to make sure that that SVG is a square, we're just going to go ahead and add in a, let's just do aspect ratio on that same selector. And we're going to make it 1. Sweet. Let's just publish that page. I thought hitting publish page would be a little bit faster, but maybe not. All right. Oh, all of those. All right, so now, now we need to, here, let's go ahead and save some space and let's start hiding these all these checkboxes, right? And what you'll notice is I can go ahead and click on these labels. Oh, interesting. Label 4. Interesting. Josh is going to be telling me I told you so pretty soon, because he was asking for this. I recall him asking for a feature a couple years ago, or maybe it was a year. I don't remember when. Hey, let me talk about the issue here. So I'm dynamically creating all of these checkboxes, right? And good thing I didn't hide those checkboxes yet, because I wouldn't have found this bug. But if I click on this box, this right here, okay, you'll notice that it has a little checkbox. It checks over there, right? If I go ahead and uncheck that and I check that, it always checks the first one. Why is that? Okay. I wasn't anticipating doing any like straight up development today, but I may need to add a feature to Foundation for this. And then get Josh to fucking say, I told you so, right? Okay. Because I know he was asking for this. So, I have a problem where if we look at the code here, okay, you'll notice that all the labels, let's try to make it a little bit bigger here so you guys can read it. All right. Let's do, wish we like just collapse this whole thing, but you can't. Okay. In here, we have a label, and for accessibility reasons, and in order to make the whole clicking on the label, check the checkbox thing work, okay, you have to have this for, and this is the ID of the checkbox. Okay, so here we have label for, and then it has an ID. And if you look here, I have the ID right here. But the problem is this ID is not configurable, okay, inside the checkbox stack. Therefore, every single checkbox here has the same ID, and every label has the same for attribute, which means it doesn't matter which label I click, it will always actually click the very first instance of that ID, which obviously is the very first checkbox. Told you Josh was going to say. I see you in the chat now. Told you so. Okay. So just like every time, Josh, you know, when I need a feature, I add it. When you need a feature, get away from me. Okay. Darn it. I need this. Okay. And so how are we going to implement this now? I was not anticipating this being, I thought I was going to be able to do it all with what I had. Drats. Okay. Let's think about this. Okay. So in order to do this, I need to have a checkbox. And you know what, to make life a little easier, it'd be great if I used a custom label. Okay, so let's have a look at the label field for foundation. There is where is label? There it is, label. Okay, so I can have a custom label. And here I have a label and a label for field. Because if you add in now I'm kind of talking out loud here. Okay, if you add a text input here, and you can say externally defined attributes. And if I do an external defined attribute on an input, here, I'm going to do this in this sandbox project so we can kind of see what's going on here. Okay, so I'm going to externally define that, and let's go ahead and do a label. Okay, and if I do my text, okay, and I say the label is for my text, now let's preview this. Okay, so if we look at this, I have an input where the ID is input my text and the label is for input my text. Okay. Okie dokie. So we just need, I just need to add actually the externally define attribute to the checkbox. I know it doesn't make sense. That makes almost no sense, because why would you want that? But we want that. Okay. So yeah, I think we just say externally define attributes that will nix the label, and then we can externally define a label. And then the benefit of that is that, yeah, when I click on the label, and then I can add a class to the label so that I don't need to do these funky selectors. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Let's go ahead and do it. All right. Let's just do this. Okay. I'm not going to explain everything I'm doing, guys. I'm just going to be chugging through this. So hold on to your horses. All right. We're going to forms. We're going to go into fields. We can go into, we need checkbox. Okay. And then we need to use, let's just use the input as an example. And I have external attributes here. And here the ID is input underscore. Oh, okay. It's always going to be the name. But in the checkbox, because, hold on. In the checkbox, I have a checkbox can have multiple field names. Okay. Hey, so with a checkbox, the way that you send coffee to Josh. Update foundation time. Yep. FYI, the solution is adding checkbox allowing for dynamic. Yes. I'm trying to think of the of a different way, Josh. So we need to have the same name across all checkboxes. That's the way checkboxes work, right? So you have to have the same name. I guess the only thing is if I do externally defined label, you have to define an ID for it. Or we just do a custom ID field in the label or in the checkbox, which kind of handles it all. That way you don't need to have an external label stack either. And while I'm doing it, maybe I could just add a label class too. Okay. Interface. Okay, let's look at what I'm doing in checkbox. So checkbox, I am giving each checkbox a dynamic ID. And while that is super convenient, in our case, we need it to be dynamic. All right. So we're going to add a setting to checkbox that allows us to customize this. Not by default. It'll stay as is by default. So we can define a custom ID. And then also, because it would make my life a little easier, I'll add a class option to the label. Okay, let's do it. Let's go over here. We're going to go ahead and open up my plist file. All right, so we're going to add probably under down here inline checkboxes. We'll just do under checked. Why not? Inline checkboxes checked. All right, we're just going to copy paste that. And then we're going to do custom ID. Set a custom ID for your checkbox. This is useful if you need to dynamically create checkboxes with Total CMS feeds, etc. Okay, that. Okay, so we have custom ID. And then down here, we're just going to do, oops. We're going to do ID label. Should I do that? I think I can do, hold on. Title, label, class. All right, let's see how that works. All right, let's go ahead and install this. Give me a second. Might take a little while a new version of Foundation is getting compiled as we speak. And install it. And let's save that really quick. Let's just quit. Do I want to save? Yeah, sure, save. While you're at it, radio needs it too. Yeah, I was thinking of that as I was oh shit. I forgot. I did the plist. I didn't update the template here. So we need here, we're gonna do class equals stake underscore label class. And then here we're gonna do if we're going to do if custom ID, sometimes AI is so annoying. Else. Oh, and I didn't add a custom ID field. That's strike 2 on me right there. We're going to do that up here probably. And I didn't. Let's see. Let's do under. I will do it under field name. Why not? Actually, we're going to do. We're going to do custom ID here, and other one's going to be add custom ID. All right, so custom ID. I'm going to be lazy. Same tooltip. All right. Default. All right. Okay. That's input. And then we're going to do enable dictionary ID, add custom ID value. Oops. Boolean. Yes. All right. That should do it. All right. Let's go to HTML and let's see. This was add custom ID. Paste that. Else use this. There we go. And we're gonna take that, and it's gonna go right there and right there. Done. Input source. Did I make any changes to this? I don't think so. All right, cool. I'm gonna have to recompile again. Sorry. All right. Let's see if we got it right first time, second time. Man, I've already hit an hour. We got so much work to do. Holy crud. All right, let's open that bad boy again. We'll just look at the sandbox really quick. You know, I would say normally I get requests all the time from probably a lot of you here, right? To, can you add an ID to this, add an ID to that? And most of the time it's for CSS stuff, okay? Or JavaScript because ChatGPT likes to give out code for finding an ID, right? Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, you don't need an ID on everything. I think classes are good. This is definitely an exception where, yeah, this isn't for styling. This is like that for attribute is like a built-in browser thing. And so, yeah, if we want to dynamically create this stuff, we need it. Josh, I apologize. But look now. Now you're gonna get it now, Josh. Okay, and I will do radio later. I won't do it right this as we speak, right? But okay. So if I go ahead and set custom ID, I now have a custom ID field up here. Oh, dang it! This still says custom classes instead of. All right. I need to. Let's just do this. That didn't do what I wanted. So we're gonna do here. We're gonna do label class HTML. Radio label classes. Classes to be added to the label because I need it. Don't need that. And that is a multi 4, I believe. Okay, gonna have to recompile that again. Sorry, guys. But while that's compiling, let's ensure that this actually does what I need it to do. Okay, so if we let's just call this check 1. Okay, and let's all right, so let's pretend I dynamically created these. This one is going to be check 2. This one's going to be check 3. They all have the same field name but different IDs. Okay, and let's preview that. Same name. Oh, ID is blank. Bad boy. What did I break there? Label 4, and that is bad. Okay, what did I do? Add custom ID. Stake custom ID. I take that off on the second one. Okay, I might have had a typo in here somewhere. Up here. Custom ID. Typo. Recompile. All right. we go. Launch it again. All right, let's fix this one. Put custom ID back. And this was, that's because I fixed it. So now it's going to be check 1, check 2, and Miggity Mike check 3. There we go. Let's preview that again. Over here, check 3, boom. Okay. We now have the power. I have the power. Okay, let's also verify that I did the label thing wrong or right. Let's just say my label. Preview that bad boy. Inspect. My label. Boom. Love it. Okay. All right, so now let's get back to the drawing board. Okay. Was this? Yeah, this was it. All right, but let's go ahead and open up that Wrap Weaver project. Open recent. Boom. Okay, let's scroll down here. All right, so now we have a checkbox. Don't need the label. All right, checkbox. We need a custom ID. Now, because I'm dynamically creating these things, okay, I need to be able to create a custom ID that is unique for every single one. Okay. So these are, which ones are these? These are type filters. So I'm going to do type dash filter dash, and then what I'm going to do is, you know what? I'm going to use this type ID right there, type ID. Okay. So in here, I created a custom ID and it's type filter type ID. Okay. So that way every single one will get its unique ID, because obviously every object in the type collection will have its own unique ID. Okay. I could probably just use type ID if I wanted, but I don't know. I like being a little explicit sometimes. So yeah, we're going to use type filter because that's what it is, ID. So now, and while I'm at it, let's go ahead and let's do well, I guess let's do filter. We'll just do filter checkbox. All right, filter checkbox. There we go. Okay, because that's what it is. All right, so we're gonna do filter checkbox with an ID. Let's go ahead and tweak these up here. So we're just gonna do now we're gonna do filter checkbox SVG on both of these, because I want to target just the SVG inside of the filter checkbox. Nice. Let's publish this page. Don't need this anymore. All right. Fun times. All right. So let's refresh. And now, boom. Okay. So now I can click on all these bad boys, and there we go. I can select each one individually. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do some things, such as let's change the text color. So, let's change some states so that I can see when I've checked it, right? Not just click it and not see anything. Okay. So before I hide this checkbox, let's change the text color. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking of my strategy on these. Okay, so I'm gonna do two different classes. I'm gonna do filter checkbox. Okay. And you'll see why in a second. Okay. So on this checkbox, I now have two specific classes: filter checkbox label and filter checkbox. Okay. So I want to style the color, okay, of the text when it is clicked. So here we'll see that I have font color. So let's just copy this. Copy the font color swatch okay, down here. One thing, let's see. Okay, so we get the style, the hover style, when we hover, and then it should be the same style when you click it. Okay. Actually, maybe, we'll think about that. Maybe hover should like just change the. I don't know. Maybe it should be slightly different if it's clicked. We'll go with the same for now. Okay, but let's change the hover. So when I hover over a let's do a class, and we're going to do filter checkbox, and let's see if we could do, checked. All right. So there is a special selector add-on called checked. So when the filter checkbox is checked, okay, set the color to the primary color. Yeah, that's what I want. Let's see. Let's see what you. Maybe a little faster so I don't publish all the time. Darn it. Hey, you know what I can do? I'm gonna do this. We're gonna do. I'm gonna install my TCMS data into preview. Okay, so I could just preview and get everything that I need. All right, so let's do view. We're gonna do. This is a little trickier in RapidWeaver. We're gonna view server logs, open document root. All right, so that. And then what we're going to do down here is we're going to go into here. We're going to do stacks total CMS. GC. All right. So here, and then what I'm going to do now is we're going to go into. We're going to open up another Finder window. We're going to go into here. No, not there. This one. And, oh, wait, no. It was website testing, GC, TCMS data. All right, I'm going to take all of this stuff. Oh, what was that? I'm not sure what that is. Let's just delete that. All right, I'm going to take all of this. I'm going to plop it in there. We're going to go into here. I'm going to take all of this stuff. I'm going to trash it. I'm going to take all of this. And we're going to copy it. Boom. All right. So now I should have all of my, hopefully I didn't delete it. Nope, it's still there. Cool. Let me just make sure. Refresh this page. All my data is there. Cool. Okay. So now let's just go ahead and preview this. Voila. All right. Well, that's weird. Cache didn't do all the, where's my styles? What the heck? That's weird. Let's publish. Did I break something? Let's see. This is filter checkbox. Oh, filter checkbox label. Dash label. Okay. And that is going to be filter checkbox label SVG. Okay. Oops. Got rid of the space. There we go. Okay, we're getting there. I'm not sure why some of these aren't image, but it doesn't matter. We're just worried about the styles here. That way I don't have to publish every time. Okay. So now if I check that, okay. So if we go into this font color, darn it, I was hoping we could do this. We might have to go to a custom CSS selector. This is kind of an advanced one because I want to style the label when the checkbox is checked, right? So I want to do if filter checkbox checked, and then style the label. So we need to go back to this complex thing here. Let's try that. All right, there we go. Okay, so now I can see when I check something because the style stays. Okay, we'll have to think about how to, how to potentially make doing something like this a little simpler. I don't know. We'll have to think about it, but for now, it's possible. Okay. So when the filter checkbox is checked, style the label. Okay. Is there a better way of doing that? I don't think so. I think that is the only way to do it. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to kind of work on the styles. Okay, so now that I can actually see when something is checked. Oh wait, let's just close all that. I don't need that right now. All right, just close all that. We're just looking on preview. All right, so now I need to mimic this here. Okay. So let's start off by hiding the checkbox. So what we're going to do is we're going to do height, and we're going to do the filter checkbox. Okay. And we're going to do simple 0. Okay. We're going to do a width, filter checkbox, simple 0. And just for fun, we're going to do opacity, filter checkbox 0. Preview. Okay, there we go. We're getting there. Now, let's figure out why the SVG and this are not in line. Let's preview that in the browser. It's a little easier to do that in the browser. All right. The label has some margin on it. That's interesting. So we might have to, let's see, do, yeah. So if we did margin 0 on the label, okay, that doesn't fully help us yet, but it does get rid of it. Okay, so we need margin 0. We'll actually just turn that off here and there, but that doesn't fully help us, okay? Because here we have the label, and the label is. What if we just do like width 100%? That could be it. Oops. Oh. Ah. Interesting. How to display flex on the SVG. Interesting. Now, why is that? What's all this extra space up here for? What the heck happened there? All right, well, let's do this. I'm going to go into here. Let's see, I need a width swatch on label, and we're going to make it full width. All right. So that gets us partly there. Okay. Now, and if I go ahead and click on that, we'll see that it stays green. Nice. All right, but we need to figure out all this inline shit. Oh, I forgot label has to be margin 0 as well. Let's close this one. Don't need that. So we're going to do, you know, for fun, we're going to use CSS Builder here. Okay. And we're going to do, okay, since, I mean, we've kind of gotten advanced here anyway, right? So I'm going to target the label. We're going to do with 100%. Okay. So we can ditch that. Let's do on this. We're going to do width of 0. Height of 0. And opacity of 0. Okay. So boom, 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 gone. Okay. Over here, let's do this. We're going to do, the label SVG. Okay. Just a FYI, I mean, what I'm doing is this, as the CSS builder comes in, it just allows you to kind of have a Stacks way of building CSS. So yeah, just something for fun. Do a little bit different here. So you guys, some of you advanced people can see a different way of doing things, right? What did I set that to? 1.25 rem. 1.25 rem. Okay. And then, we're just going to do a aspect. Oh, I don't have aspect ratio in here. Bad boy. So yeah, we'll just set width to be the same. Okay. And then, yeah, that's kind of a, there we go. And then for fun, here, let's just go all in, right? So this is going to be here, the CSS builder. This is going to be the label when the checkbox is checked. Okay. And so what we're going to do there is we're going to do font. No, we're going to do color. and it's going to be var dash dash primary. All right. That should give us the same styles that we were having. So when I click that, boom, yes. All right. Long story short, doing that also kind of saved us a little bit of work on the alignment of things. Okay. It was actually the aspect ratio swatch that was throwing things off. Long story, it does some display flex stuff to help you align content. Didn't work out in this situation. Okay. So anyway, there we go. But things still aren't perfectly lined up, right? And there's quite a bit of spacing. What's up with all the super amount of spacing? Labels, we still have margins, so we're gonna have to we'll have to get rid of those margins. So that was on the label, right? We're gonna add in another CSS rule, and we're gonna say margin 0. Okay, sweet. What does that help? How does that help us? Maybe it slimmed things up a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell. Okay, but what's kind of cool is I'm building this. This is my target. This is what I'm trying to get it to look like, right? So let's go ahead and inspect this again. Let's see where all of this is going. I haven't looked at the chat for a while. Let's see. Okay. This. I wish I could like change the layout of this more better. Like Jesus, it drives me freaking bonkers. I want this on the side, but then at some point I want like this to go down or something. Like, man, it drives me nuts. All right. So that checkbox is big. Wait, what are all these buttons? Oh, these are all hidden. That's right. Oh, I wonder if those are effing me up. I don't think so, because they're set to hidden. Yep. All right. So I have input and that. I wonder if in that checkbox, let's see, where's the checkbox? Down here. Here. You know what? I'm going to, I have that same button style somewhere else. I'm going to just delete that just to clean things up. I'm going to turn off inline checkbox. Let's see how that changes things. Does it change it at all? Not really. Does get rid of the... Okay, what's giving this height? Ah, interesting. All right. So what's going on here is, even though I made this checkbox have a height of 0 and a width of 0 and an opacity of 0. Oh, wait. Oh, it might have a margin. It might have margin 0. Let's see what margin 0. Ah, margin did something. There's still something on it, though. be a line height. Do padding 0. Line height 0. Can I do a appearance none? Still got that height. Now, when I did position absolute, which got it completely like out of there. All right, that might be the solution. No clue where that checkbox is now, but now my grid's starting to come together a little bit. Okay, let's do that. So that was the checkbox itself. Here, it did have a margin of 0. Definitely did something. Then we'll just do that. Probably don't need it, but whatever. Okay, and then we're gonna add in a position absolute. Okay, position absolute similar to a position swatch set to relative to parent. Okay, since position absolute. Okay, let's preview that. Make sure that is boom. All right, we're getting really close now. Right, we're getting really close to these being actual checkboxes that work or should work. Okay. All right. Next up is we need to add some background color. Okay. So we need to add some background color to the label. We'll add some radius and some padding. Okay. And just for fun, let's just have a look at what the padding is on this buttons, just so we can copy it. It's 12, which is 1.5. Okay. Right? No. That's not 1.5. Padding is 0.75. Yeah, 0.75, I believe. 12 divided by 16. 0.75. Thank you very much. Okay, so on the label, which is this guy right here, we're going to add in some, we're just going to do this. We're going to add in padding. 0.75 rem. Okay. And then we are going to need, when it's checked, two things we could do. For border radius, what I want to happen is, here, 1 second. If we look at this button, okay, it will use the border radius. This is the button, right? Yeah. Layout, border radius. Where is it? Oh, I think it's only done it when it's. I don't see border radius here. What the hell? Oh, 5 pixels. Okay. And that is. I think I'm only setting colors as a. Oh no, I have dash radius. Okay, so dash radius is a variable that we can use that will be set by site styles. That way, the radius is uniform with everything else on the site. Okay, so I could go ahead and on here just add a radius class that would get the job done. But yeah, why not do it this way? Both will get the job done though. We'll do border radius. Don't tell me I don't have that here. Of course. Oh yeah, there it is. Border radius. And I'm going to leverage the dash radius variable that is done by Total CMS or by site styles. Then when it's active, okay, I want the background color to be the, I believe it's the secondary color. So we're going to do here, let's do hover, force a hover on that so we can see that. And then on here, we see that the background color is set to green. Oh, green accent. Okay. Which is a variable that I created. Okay. So we're going to leverage that green accent color as the background color. And it's down here. And we're going to do background color bar dash green dash accent. Nice. We're getting there. Look at that. All right. Now, I wanted to mimic these styles when it's active or when we hover over it, right? Remember that? Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to copy this and we're going to mimic this. I'm going to do a comma and we're going to do new line and we're going to do dot colon hover. Okay, let's have a look at that. So we're doing, I added a comma and I'm applying multiple selectors here. So I'm saying, the first one was if the checkbox is checked, do the label. But then when we hover over the checkbox, then I'll also apply these styles. Okay. So now we're gonna refresh that. Now when I hover or when I click, you see it actually stays, right? So I can click it, I can hover, I can click, and I can see what I have selected there, right? Pretty cool. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and work on the alignment of the icon and the text now. All right, so the alignment, it's right inside the label. Okay, so if I just do display flex, and then I always forget fucking things here. Hover should be a different color. I can agree. I can't argue with that. Hover being a different color, but you see how I did it? We can make it a different color later. I don't want to muck with the design aspects of it right now. What I want now though is align items. That's what I want. I always have to look up the alignment options with flex and grid. It drives me fucking bonkers. Center. All right, boom. So we need display flex, align item, center. And if you notice, I was doing this one. Now they're perfectly aligned. Okay. And then why don't we just do like a gap of 5 pixels? All right. What did I do is a gap down here. Let's have a look. I did 0.5 rem. Okay. Oh, look, I had the same exact styles down here. Okay. Um, okay. Wonder what swatch I used for that. Did I use CSS for that? Probably. Ah, there it is. It's right there. Okay. So we want, that was the label. All right. So now label, we're going to do a CSS rule. We're going to do display flex. We're going to do CSS rule. We're going to do align. Oh, bad boy. I don't have that. Do we have gap? I have gap. We're going to do 0.5 rem. Didn't have line items, so we're just going to have to add a advanced rule here and just do align items center. All right. Ooh, what is it? Align items? I did that over here. Line item center gap. Okay, that's interesting. Let's try that in the browser. Wow, look at that. What the F? What the effing? All right, so we have label. Oh, did I put that in the wrong selector? Oh, it's a label, display flex. That's right. And it's on checkbox label. Oh, here it is. Oh, display flex isn't getting set. It needs to bang important. Interesting. There it goes. Man. Okay. We are like dangerously close to being pretty spot on. Right? Look at that. I can click on it. I like it. Maybe hover should just change the text color. And then when you check it, it puts the background color. I think I like that. Let's try that. All right, we're just going to do we'll just duplicate the style. All right. Actually, over here, we can just do this now, actually. Label hover. Right? And then we just do the background color. Let's see how I like that. I don't know. I kind of like having some sort of background color, though. All right. What if we did like a near white background color? Let's try light gray. All right, let's try that. So I have a color called light gray. It's actually color in foundation. Okay, so let's try that. Oops, I spelled it wrong. You know, you guys on the other side of the pond confuse me because sometimes it's like an E, sometimes it's an A. Man, why'd you have to do that to us? I don't like the light gray. It could be better if it was like super light. Let's try yeah, white I mean, the background is white. So, all right. Let's do like F2, F2, F2. Even lighter than that. FE, FE, FE. Oh, that is white. Let's do like FA, FA, FA. I think I like that. I don't know. I might tweak it to be like a super light version of that light green. Yeah. But I like when it's checked, it goes green though. I think that makes sense. Okay. I like that. Okay, a couple things I've noticed. I think my padding, my vertical padding is different. It's previous in the browser. Inspector is a little bit easier to use there. All right, so my vertical padding is bigger than here. So let's see what the vertical padding is on these buttons. It's 12 everywhere. That's interesting. Is it over here? I still have margins. Why do I have margins? But I set that to be margin 0. All right, let's on my label, margin 0. Let's force that. All right. I guess those look pretty similar. I think they're slightly tighter over here. Let's see if we can figure out this spacing. Oh, it's that margin. I swore I put an important on that margin. There we go. Now it's tighter. There we go. Now we've replicated it. I think that's pretty spot on now. I like it. Okay. Now let's replicate that for features down here. Okay. And it should be, I shouldn't need to modify any of these styles, right? I should just be able to copy this. Let's go down into filters here. And we're just going to paste that in. And instead of, I use type in here. Instead of that, we're going to use feature. Okay. So, and also we're going to do feature filter and that. We're going to use the feature.id. Actually, we're going to go into the button and copy that word for word. There we go. All right. I think that's it. Let's just try it. Let's see. Boom. I like it. You know, these are one of the things where, you know, it's like you make it and you just sit here and click these stupid things for forever because you're just like, look at that. That's so cool, right? All right, so there we go. Now we have camping and extra features all handled. I like it. Okay, let's go ahead and we need this now. Okay, so these are going to be a similar style, right? But definitely more complex. All right, so let's go ahead and collapse that. Collapse that. Let's do these filters. So I'm building out, oh, these are kind of manual, which is interesting. Okay, I'm building these out manually. So let's try to replicate one of them. Let's replicate this first one. Oops. This one. That's interesting. Okay, just kind of remembering what the heck I'm doing here. So the block grid cell is, oh, okay. So this is going to have to be one big box. The label is going to have all right. Let's go ahead and I'm going to copy in one of these filters from down here. This checkbox, I mean. Let's go up here. And can't really use a block grid anymore. Maybe I could. I'm going to do this checkbox. Okay. And we're going to do, the label has to have this SVG plus this text. All right. And for this, I actually don't need a custom ID for this. We can do the SVG map. We're going to copy that. We're going to put this in the label class. And then here, this label, I'm going to plop that after this. And actually, I don't think I need these either. All right. Let's see how the hell that looks. Well, it sort of works. Oh, look. Okay, that is not good. The labels, obviously the label's way off. Okay. But the map looks good. It's a little big, I think. Yeah, the map is a little large. Probably because I changed some of the styles. I'm wondering if I so I took these classes off the block grid cell and I put them on the label. It should see what that does. Okay. The size of the text is definitely too big. Did I have a special class on those? No, I did not. Okay. Search field. P8. Okay. Let me look at let's look at the styles here. So I can this label. Campsite search label. All right, let's find those bad boys. Campsite. Get some of these up here. There it is. Campsite search label. Okay. But the campsite search is the label now, I believe, right? All right, let's just copy that. Because I put in here. Oh, where is campsite search? Is it this container? Search group. Trying to find what has campsite search on it. Oh, it's the form. There. Power tip. Put the main class of an item, just plop it in the title so you can kind of see it. It's kind of a useful thing. Okay. So campsite search and then label. All right. And why, when I did it, let's preview that. Why is that so large? Font sizes, and that is, yeah, that one. Let's see what the font size of this one is. That is 8 pixels. All right, so why is this one getting 12? I think it's because I'm using 12 down here, I think. So if we look at the label, yeah, we have that, okay. So if we do font size, it's getting 12 because it's getting set to 12 here. Dot checkbox label. Oh. Looks like it's a foundation thing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that and do that. Boom. Okay. We're getting there. Look at that. For some reason the SVGs definitely look, I think it's just, I just need some padding and whatnot. Okay. So we're getting there. I'm just comparing this one and this one should look pretty similar. And actually to help us out here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this last cell just so we have the same number, the correct number. There we go. Okay, see how this one is just a little bit bigger. I think it has to do with padding. So let's see what we got going on in here. So on the SVG, I have a little bit of, it looks like some margins on the bottom, which is easy to fix. You have a margin bottom. Oh, I had MB12 on the SVG. All right, that's easy to fix. But outside of that, oh, there on the cell, I had a padding of 8 and a margin of 2. Thought I replicated that setting there. Oh, the margins are bigger on. Oh, I need margins. Yeah, the margin. Okay. Yep. So we're going to have to do that. So the margin over here was what? I think that's on cell. So I think we just set margin of 0 on. All right. Let's go ahead and set up a. Let's set up a here. Oh, here I have search field. Okay, let's do search field. Okay. I probably should do like a filter region. I'm just going to keep the same classes for now. You'd probably want to do it, the other ones I did a, filter checkbox label. You probably want to create something that's maybe more usable, but I already have this search field and I'm not sure what other styles I have applied to it right now. So I'm just going to utilize that. And we're going to add in, let's just add a CSS builder just in case I need to add more in the future. Okay. So we're going to do that. And we're going to go over to here. We're going to set margin to 0, force. Okay. Then I need a bottom margin on the SVG. Okay. Margin bottom. Do I remember what I set that to? Let's see. It's right there. 0.75. 0.75 rem. Okay. Now we need to scale the SVG. Let's see, this had a max width of 42 pixels. Max width 42 pixels. That number of 42 pixels seems odd, but it was a lot of guessing of exactly the amount we needed. Yeah. So if I click on that now, okay, we'll have to do the clicking. All right, let's remove the active style from this. Oh, yeah, and then we have the. Oh, those ones don't have the checkbox yet. Duh. All right, so here I have hover, but we'll have to set active as well. There are some other slight oddities. This one's a little smaller now. Wonder why. I'm not sad that it's a little smaller. Man, I am starving. I think we're almost there though. All right, we're going to find the this one. If it's active, yeah, the path has to be, oh wait, no, white. Okay, so the fill on the path, you know what? I think we're just gonna copy this. Let's put it down here. Okay, so on region filters, if it's active, okay, so what we have is, look at this bad boy. Okay, so we have, we want to target this SVG when this checkbox is checked. Okay, so we do filter checkbox. That has search field next to it with an SVG. All right, that's what we want. All right, so we want, so region filters. We have a filter checkbox with a search, with a label dot search field next to it and the path. And yeah. Oh, and if the checkbox is checked. Okay, so here we go. In the region filters, which I believe is a class added to that little section, if the checkbox is checked and the label is labeled, the search label, then target the path, which is elements within the SVG, and make them white. Oh, interesting. When it's, I'll have to look in. Oh, that's when it's hovered, and I'll have to play around with that. But we're close, right? I'm gonna make sure let's preview that again. Oh, that's force. That's why. But I think it has to be force. And when it's checked, then the hover checked. Interesting. I probably have some swatches conflicting with each other somewhere. I bet you it's all these. Let's see. I think this one. We're going to make sure that that one is after this one. All right. I'll debug that later. Something like that could take me a while. I'm sure it's some short a little swatch hiccup. Okay. Because when I check it, boom, it's definitely set. Okay. Because this one has like the selector on this one's really complex because it depends on the region and all that jazz. Okay. I'm not going to try to debug that right now live. Because the important part is that it's set, it's checked, and it stays that way. Now we just need to take this and replicate is that it's set, it's checked, and it stays that way. Let's go ahead and get her done. All right. So this one's done, and it's a replica of England Midlands North, and that is England Midlands North. Okay, done. So I can delete that one. Copy, paste. And I think the only difference was, let's see, the label. I'll have to go into here. And we'll swap out the label. And then take all of this. I don't want the active class though. Take that. Plop that there. Sweet. And delete that. All right, then we take this one. Copy those. Paste into there. Take the label. And plop the label into here. Delete. Copy, paste. Take those. Plop this. I know this work is probably so riveting for you guys to watch, but sometimes the monotonous work just has to get done. All right, one more to go. Oh, I don't need the hide class there because we don't want to hide that anymore. Paste that. That. Okay. Whew. Let's see. Drum roll, please. Whoa, look at that. And then you can be like, I want that, and then search. All right. That was a bunch of work. You guys still with me? Probably not. But okay. So now we have this form set up. Now we need to, oh, look, this, shoot. This is small. This is too small now. Okay. That's a minor thing. Let's go ahead. See if I can just find that really quick. I think it was this one. I think it's because I did a force on this one. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, this one should only be on region filters, I believe. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do this. We're going to scope it to parent class of region filters. There we go. There we go. Oh, these are big now. Darn it. let's just do class of search field. Thing important. Oh, yeah. Thing important. Yeah, that's right. Boom. There we go. All right. Still riveted. Oh boy. Okay. Well, there was our work we've done. Okay. Let's go ahead and collapse some of these things. Oh, well, let's do region filters. All right. Camping in. Region filters. Oh, there we go. Just save that. All right, so now we need to make this form work. Okay. Excuse me while I pull up my chair. I've been standing for 2 hours now. Okay. Okay. All right, so we need this to submit to a get URL action. Okay. Okay, I've reached the point where we need to. All right, I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to publish this. Just clear all that. I like it. All right. For now, I'm gonna make this search button. I'm not gonna make it enabled instead of disabling it. I'll work on that disable option in the future. And it's just a couple lines of JavaScript, but all right, let's go ahead and publish that. All right. Now, oh, let me see what filters actually. Oh, we need to see what filters I have supported for this. Okay. Because we need to be able to, let's see, where's the loop? Here it is. Oh, so I don't have any filters set up. So we're going to have to enable filtering here. And I want to be able to filter by, okay. All right, so let's look, we got to look at our data first. So let's go ahead and look at our data. So we have type, features, and region, okay. All right, let's do. All right, so in here, in each campsite, we have, well, let's just look at the schema. Okay, so we have, just make sure I know, we have types, features, and region. Okay, region is a value. Okay, types and features are obviously the those boxes. Okay, they could potentially have multiple. So a campsite could support multiple types and have multiple features. It is only a part of one region, though. Okay, so we need to do. Let's do region first, since that's the simple one. Okay, region, and we'll do equal to, and then filter from URL, and the key is going to be region. Okay. And actually, something I totally didn't even think about is in here, my checkboxes, the field names, very, very, very important. This needs to be region. Okay. Now, actually, and not only that, but then this needs to be the value here needs to be the value of this particular region, right? So that is campsites. And the region, oops. The region is going to be, I think it's, 1 second. I have the region stored statically. Yeah, right here. All right, so it's England, Midlands, North. Okay. All right, give me a minute. We're gonna have to set this up. So this is England's Midlands, North. So the value has to be this one. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do the value. So if someone checks this box, that's the value for the region. Okay. And then here, this one is England Southeast. Oh, 1 second. Let's just do this. Did that again. I think that was the second or third time I've done that today. All right. So here we go. England Southeast. Here we have England Southwest. Here we have Wales Mid-North. And here we have Wales Southwest. Why is it South and West and Mid and North? I don't know. Wales don't like the East. That's actually probably a very true statement. Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay. Okay, so that fixes that. Let's go into our into these filters. And here we want, let's look at our stuff here. I think we want type.id. So if we go into here, we go into types. Yeah, we want type.id. Okay, so in the value, we're going to use type.id as the value of that checkbox. And in our features, we're going to use feature.id. There we go. And make sure I got that extra curly brace. Yes, that looks correct. All right, save that. All right, good thing I thought about that. Without that, it wouldn't work. All right, let's get back to oh, well, I need to publish this so that we are, let's go back in here. So a region, so if the region is equal to value, and I have to admit, while I'm building all this, I might find some loopholes in our search, right? So, I mean, this is some elaborate searching that I haven't tested fully and why I kind of took on this project, okay? So let's see, if the region, but what if you supply multiple regions? So I want this region or this region or this region. That'll be interesting to see how that happens with the form, okay? We'll probably start simple and do one and then start adding on others. Oops. All right, so now we're gonna, so that's a feature by region, right? And then we need a one by types. And so if it's equal to filter and the URL key is types, right? Oh, did I over here, man, just catching myself. I didn't change here. This needs to be types. And then this one, I did it in the first one in the region, but I didn't do it here. And this is features, right? Boom. Campsite. We're going to do types and features. Correct. Okay. So this one is features. Save. All these little details. So if types equals, okay, that. Oops. And then we're going to do one for features. All right, let's publish. All right, so first off, before I test the form, let's just test the filtering, okay, of my loop. So I'm going to do region equals, and let's just pick, I don't know, Wales Mid-North. Okay, and I can tell that worked because up here I'm displaying the results, displaying 21 campsites of 167. Boom. All right, so I filtered by one region. Awesome. Okay. Let's filter by a type. So let's do how about type is tent. Okay. So that's a types equals tent. Okay. And I don't know if all of them do all of them support tents. Here, let's do let's pick a different type. One that's probably not so prevalent. Types. Let's do type caravan. Okay. Let's see if that works. Types equals caravan. All right. Well, that obviously isn't working. Why not? Types equal to filter from URL. Types. Filter the property. Let's try contains. Maybe it needs to be contains. Probably contains. It's where equal to would should have worked, but so if the property types contains this value, filter from URL. I don't think the order would matter. Let's plop it up top. Shouldn't they all have tents? You would think. Yeah, you would think. I think some only offer like cabins or something like that as well. But that's why I did caravan. Caravan isn't working either. region worked great. The problem here is this could be a bug in the search because of these are tag fields, and obviously it needs to. The region is just a simple text match, which is the simplest form. I swear I've gotten search by filter or by tag working before, though. I have a feeling I'm doing something stupid. Types and region are a part of the index. They should be because they all are contained here, but we can verify that. If we go to schema, campsites, types and features are part of the index. Remember, for a field to be indexable or searchable, it needs to be a part of the index. Okay. So types and features are there. Let's make sure region. Let's search for a different region. Make sure that we didn't get lucky or something. Let's do England Southwest. That works great. 37 out of 67. Okay. And just for fun, let's go ahead and. Oh, interesting. My styles here got a little jacked up. Not sure what happened there. All right. But if I go ahead and do this, search, that did region. Oh, interesting. Region with, oh, that's interesting. It did Wales Mid-North. Okay. I'm probably not going to get this all 100% working today, guys. I'll be honest. I mean, like, for example, that little bug right there, when you clicked on this and you click on search, it adds a couple characters because that's something to do with checkboxes, right? And here we have multiple regions, and the search isn't defined yet, but that's actually interesting. There's 95 there. Is that 95 because that actually seemed like it worked? Hold on, if I do, I'm gonna X that. So I can do Wales Southwest. Oh, interesting. Look. Oh, in fact, the foundation form automatically set that to be active. Wow, that's fucking baller. Man, that developer is the shit. So that's 74, right? And then if I did Wales Mid-North, that's 21, right? And then if I did, oh, wow, that actually freaking works, dude. 95. Oh, but it didn't highlight both. That could be a bug in Foundation. Okay, so it worked, right? It didn't highlight both of them though. So I'll have to make sure the Foundation does that. But look at that. It definitely, because I searched for this one individually and we got 72 or whatever. And then this one was, yeah, and that totals 95. So this is everything that is in Wales Mid North and Wales Southwest. Wow. It's pretty cool. Right? But if I go ahead and here, search 37. Okay, so that's working. Not sure what happened to my styles up here. I'll have to look into that. But all right. I sure would love to get this working though. So if I did caravan search, right? pipes this caravan? Hmm. Okay. Here, let's play with the search as well. I'm not going to debug this for right now, guys. I can try to do a follow up in the future. But here, let's play with this search one. Okay. So we're gonna do we're gonna add in search, and we'll do. I think I set this. The name of the field here is, I believe it's search. It's just search. Okay, so we'll keep with that. We'll stick with search. So what you do is inside. Where is my here? Okay. Inside here, when you enable search inside the loop, you're going to put in your search key, which will be the name of the search field. Okay. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Let's test it. All right. Let's just go to a default page. Let's just type in something. Let's type in farm. Found 167 again. I have my doubts. Here, let's do lower. Well, looks like search not working right now either. Great. Wonder why. I wonder if I'm going to turn off filtering. I wonder if that is conflicting with search. I'm not sure. I've played around with filtering and searching combined. Let's turn off filtering just for now, and let's see if that works with search. All right, well, that worked. All right, here, let's play with our thing again. Farm. Well, they all found farm. Interesting. Okay, how about Canna? Oh, well, that came up with one. I'm trying to find something that isn't. Let's see. Meadow. Darn it. Barn. Okay. I think it's actually working. I've been checking these numbers up here. I think that this just isn't updating because obviously I searched for barn. Oops. And it did come up with these items here. We'll verify that. Here, let's do like barn. Okay. So yeah, I just have a bug in this logic where this number is wrong. Interesting. I wonder if that was the issue with our types and the type filtering, which, oh snap. Okay. Haha. I know what's going on. Okay. I forgot I did this. In order to get this count done, I am not doing the loop or the filtering and the searching from the loop stack. Ah, rookie. Okay. What I'm doing is here, I'm using preloaded data. Okay. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm preloading and filtering it, like, let's say up here, invisible, so that I can display the count and then display the results down here. Totally forgot I was doing that. All right, let's darn it. And let's find the data. That's probably, it's probably in here. Is it here? No, those are the symbols. Oh, here it is. Is it this one? Collection index. Well, this doesn't even do anything. Why is that there? That's doing shit. All right, let's find it. See, even guys, even I lose my shit sometimes. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Let's find it. Oh, here, collection preloaded. Okay. Oh, and look, I already had all the filters set up. Ha ha. Okay, maybe wrong. So, all right, let's see. This one is index loaded for active campsites. Variable name active campsites. Filter. Oh, okay. Yes. Got it. All right, this one, I'm using the filters. Oh, interesting. I wonder if I need to have search. Oh, interesting. Not sure. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. So the loading of a collection does not support searching. And should it? I don't know. I will have to think about that, guys. Okay. But this is doing our filtering for us. Okay. So here I have, we don't want country. I don't want to filter. I do want to filter by country, but I'll show you why later on. I'm not sure if I showed that off ever. Okay. Then we're searching by region, county, town. Okay. So now this is why we now need to do types here. Equal to filter from URL. Okay, and then here we'll do filter by features equal to, and here, this here, do that there, this here, do that there. All right, let's see if that works. And obviously this shuffles. Very interesting. And we can do case equal to case insensitive. Why not? I'm doing case insensitive for all the others, so might as well just do it for that too. Equal to case insensitive. All right, let's publish that. Yeah, folders with notes. You're correct, Scott. I built most of this project where the folder stack existed. So, yes, you are correct. All right. So let's go back to, I turned off search for right now. Let's see if we can do types now. Types equals caravan. That works. It works. Nice. Okay, we get 45 out of 167 support caravans. I can do caravans and campfires. Search. Do all of them support both? Here for right now, here, we're gonna do just campfire. 166 out of a. Ooh, there's only one campsite that doesn't support campfires. What? Man, we gotta do the inverse of that search and tell everyone not to go there. Just playing. Okay, so yeah, we do caravan or let's do a yurt and campfires. Only 2. There we go. Only 2 of them support yurts. Okay, or a dome tent. Nice. Let's go ahead and try to do multiple. Let's see if I do caravan and dome. I get 47. And I have to work on. There is a bug where, whilst both are supplied via the URL, Foundation only re-highlights one. Okay, so that's a bug. We'll fix that. Cool. So let's find everything that's has a campfire, is near a pub, and near a beach. That sounds like a freaking great place. There's no way there's 160s. Oh, I think that's an or logic. I think yes. These are or logic, not an and. I will have to think about how to define that, right? Because a lot of times you're like, okay, I want campfire and near a pub, but up here you want these to be or, but these you want to be and. I don't have a solution for that right now, but I think we're gonna need something like that, right? Where these are, these will be an or, these are an or, but these should be an and, because I want campfire and near a pub. And when you do that, it just gets you too many. How many are near a pub? That's more important than campfires. Oh, there's none near a pub. I think that was a new feature that they haven't indexed for all their campsites yet. But let's find any that are near a beach. How about that? Oh, there's only one's near a beach? What? Okay. I think some of these properties are near a beach, pub. I think some of the electrical hookup near shops. Those are things that aren't necessarily saved in the database yet. Okay, but so interesting. Open all year. There's the ones that are open all year. Cool. I like that. This one's quite interesting. This quarry wood camping thingamabobber. All right. Something that's interesting. I don't remember if I showed this on a live stream or if I did it. I think I did it on a hangout. Okay. Let me verify this section. Yeah, this is doing it. I'm not going to go into all of the how-tos of this, at least today. Okay. To be honest, in the future, when I have this campsite done, I think I'm going to do like a walkthrough. It'll probably be a paid course on how I built this website step by step with Total CMS 3. Okay. But what's kind of cool about these, this URL, if we look, is it's not your typical like blog URL. If you notice, it's campsites / Wales Southwest / I think this is the county, and then / the name of the campsite. Right? So we have the region, which is the country and the region. Then it goes down to county. Then it goes down to the thing. And what's cool is you can actually, I can go ahead and delete the name. And now I have, Wales, Southwest, Pembrokeshire, right? And that takes me to a pre-filtered list of everything that's inside that county, right? And I can go there and then I can be like, oh yeah, I want to go to everything that's in Wales Southwest. There we go. Okay. And that's the same. I mean, that particular one, you can actually do this with this filter, right? I can just do Wales Southwest, search, boom, done. Okay. But Um, so there we go. Yeah, I think I'm at a stopping point, guys. At least for now. I mean, I got most of the form pretty much all working. There's a few little quirks that I'm not going to fix right now because I am actually quite starving. And we've been on here for 3 hours now. Okay. So yeah, I thought this was gonna go maybe for 2, not for 3, which was interesting. I will stay a few more minutes. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I know, I assume most of you watching are probably like zoned out or maybe working on something else. So, at the same time, but there's a lot going on here. I fumbled a little bit. I updated Foundation. We did a lot today, right? Obviously I'll get that update shipped. I'll add it to Radio Button too, so that Josh doesn't keep complaining. I'm just playing. Love you, Josh. Okay. Let me look at the chat here. Let's see. When search worked, I found one number, didn't change it. It's possible the other filters worked and didn't change the number. Okay. Folders with notes, yeah. Otherwise I lose place. Okay. Sweet, guys. If you have any more questions, hang out on Friday. Okay. I'll be there Friday. We can do all this stuff. I'm not going to do it all over again, but if you have any questions, and I'm sure I'll have it refined by then. I'm meeting with this customer tomorrow, so I'll probably have it refined by tomorrow, because obviously I'd like to have it all, functional and working by then. So cool. I hope you learned a little bit today. Hope I didn't bore you out of your mind. And I know I'm going to get complaints. Yeah, that was a 3-hour live stream. Well, don't have to watch it. If you lasted this long, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you and for being awesome. Because, most people will never get to this point. So if you do get to this point, why don't you comment down on the video or something like that and be like, I don't know, what all the other videos do? They say comment with a special word. Comment with, I love camping. Or if you like camping, I don't know. Do you? I love camping. Although I'll be honest, I haven't camped for I think it was 2 years, 2 summers. We haven't gone camping yet. Kind of sad about that. I really wanted to go camping this year. It just didn't happen. Didn't have the schedule time for it. So cool, guys. You also saw a sneak peek of deck today. So, see you guys on Friday. Also on the community, I'm behind on posts on the community. I've been working really hard on deck. So if you have a message and you're waiting for a response from me, sorry, I'll get to you as soon as I can. If you have a little bit of time and you feel you can help out people out, head to the community and help a brother out. Okay. Help a sister out, whomever's over there. So cool. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. See you on Friday, and go out there and make your websites great.